What's up, guys? It's Sam and Colby.
Today we are going to be reacting to our investigation at Doll Island with Fede.
If you haven't seen the main channel video yet, 1, what are you doing? And then 2, this is going to have some spoilers, so you're warned right now.
We're going to be talking about all the behind the scenes, the craziest things that happened, and the moment we realized that Fede was starting to get targeted.
The third time it goes after you. This is actually dangerous.
Let's get into it. One thing that we didn't 100% cover in the video is how insane this process was. We got picked up by a guide, traveled really far on the outskirts of the city, and then had to get into a boat for like an hour all the way through all these canals to find the Doll Island. But there were multiple Doll Islands because a lot of people tried to make tourist attractions out of it.
You gotta know the right person to get to the real one, and luckily, we know the right guy. But really quick, wanted to talk about meeting Fede. He's the largest Spanish-speaking creator in the world, and he was one of the nicest creators we have ever met.
We actually took him ghost hunting on his channel the night before. It was really fun, and we got to see one of the largest graveyards. I think it was the largest graveyard in Mexico.
I think so.
He also said that he had been to Doll Island twice, and he was terrified to go back, especially because of spiders. He was petrified of seeing a ton of spiders or having fall on him. And he taught us so much about the Spanish-speaking community, and we're so excited now that all of our main channel videos are done.
Now we're gonna go to the part where I get to drive the boat. Let me drive the boat.
Dude. Maybe this is why it takes 2 hours.
Was it actually hard to like do this? I didn't even get to
Yes!
Run us into the goddamn wall. Look at our pace right now. We are flying. You doing good? Bueno?
He was
He's lying.
He's lying?
Yes, it was very hard because first of all, you can see this stick is ginormous. This was like a 15-foot stick, and so every single time you would push, it would get stuck in all the muck and the dirt, and so it'd be like super heavy to like yank out to put in front and to stick it in again.
Apparently this ride used to take like hours and hours and hours because you had to do the entire thing with the stick. But as you saw a little bit in the video, like we had a little motor, and so that's why it was a little bit faster for us. But I don't think you're gonna be a boat driver.
I don't think so. I'm not good with big giant sticks, guys.
Sure. Let's get into the actual island here.
I'm an island boy. I think that's it right there.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Your mouth just got like 10 times bigger. What was that?
We had a great time getting there. Very happy vibes. Like the wind was blowing and it was a great day. But as soon as we saw that island, the vibe changed completely and you just felt like a creepy, eerie feeling.
Oh my god.
Dude, look at that one.
Yeah.
Right as we get here, there's gonna be thousands of these dolls.
We knew that this island was gonna have a lot of dolls, but actually being there
Oh god.
and seeing how many dolls there were
Dude, it just gets worse.
was genuinely terrifying.
It's not like going to Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum where there's dolls everywhere, but it's like in a preserved, nice place. These are out in the wilderness, and so they're all decrepit with like giant spiders on these dolls' faces.
And like Fede says, like a bunch during this video, it felt like all their eyes were watching you.
It looks like they're staring down your soul.
So the first place that we investigated on the island was called the Doll Hut, which had a lot of creepy dolls, but one specific one named Augustina.
She is the most active one.
When they come here and visit the dolls, if they don't give them offers, sometimes when they go home, they feel like anxious.
Crazy part about this is they were talking about a bunch of famous people that came in and didn't have offerings, and they had to like write letters or come back to the island to apologize. I think they even said like Lady Gaga came there and they had to like go back or write a letter. It was crazy.
So apparently this doll has probably been here for like over 60 years.
Yeah, 70.
No wonder it's so decrepit. It's like falling apart.
The doll that you guys just saw there with the sunflower hat was the first doll that Don Julian found and created the entire lore of Doll Island. And guys, this room was extremely creepy. There was a sense of protection because of Augustina and because we gave our offerings.
No.
But still, with all the spiders that were around and just like 100 eyes looking at you wherever you turned your head, gave you eerie vibes.
Guys, now that we're dubbing in Spanish, we'd love to work with a bunch more Spanish-speaking creators.
If you guys know any Spanish-speaking creators that you want us to collab with, let us know.
And then subscribe so you see it happen in the future.
Subscribe!
Now let's move on to Don Julian.
Don Julian was a farmer.
Yeah, he was a farmer.
Dead!
He's a dead farmer.
Oh
Wait,
my god!
the dead farmer.
Famous!
Oh my god.
Julian.
Makes too much sense.
This is Don Julian.
How?
Can I just say, this PS device, it's a word bank, and it said that spirits can use their EMF energy to manipulate the frequencies and choose a word to communicate with us. And whoever we were talking to told us the exact story of Don Julian. It was mind-blowing.
We immediately knew, based on this investigation, that this entire island was going to be incredibly active. This proved it to us right off the bat.
Did you just hear running?
Yeah.
It was like someone sprinted, like choo, 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 choo.
Footsteps.
That was the craziest thing.
Why is that nice? Just got so quiet. There was nobody on the island except for the guide, and they were not running around. They were staying in one place, and so what was making those noises?
Oh my God, it still like gives me chills how clear that running sound is.
Yeah, dude, the sound was so crisp that you could hear the individual footsteps.
Well, if you're talking about just the sound, actually, that is thanks to our sponsor of today's video, Raycon. You guys might notice that we always wear earbuds when filming these react videos, and that's so that we can both hear the videos on this laptop. But these are definitely the best by far.
These earbuds have active noise cancellation so that you can drown out every other distraction so you can perfectly hear every single ghost noise. All the time, every time, all the time.
I just hear like normal sounds.
Well, right now the ghosts are telling me that these earbuds have a 32-hour battery life, which is awesome because we can never remember to charge anything. And with Raycon's quick charge function, just 10 minutes of charging will give you 90 minutes of battery.
The best part is the ergonomic design.
They fit so well in your ear that you can even do this. And they don't even come out.
And dude, check out the color of this. Like even the case is so awesome.
That's dopamine. Raycon's everyday earbuds are half the price of other premium brands' comparable products.
But even if you end up not liking your Raycons, first of all, why? They do offer a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy with no questions asked. We use these earbuds daily, like when we're watching these react videos, but even in our everyday lives.
So go to buyraycon.com/sam&colby to get 20% off of the best-selling everyday earbuds.
Brought to you by Raycon. Now back to the video.
What was that?
50 years.
50
years! 50 years is exactly how many years he was collecting dolls before he died. We're definitely talking to Don Julian.
August.
Augustina!
Yes.
Oh my God!
There's a lot to unpack here.
There were so many noises, and then also the screaming. Back to the PS device, Augustina might not be in the word bank, but August, like literally standing right in front of Augustina is insane to me.
Running. We are running outside.
Oh, what if that was Augustina? Didn't you just say that Augustina is known to get
Oh,
up and
it
like,
just,
walk around?
this is just
Maybe
insane.
that was the spirit outside, like running around.
Such clear communication, and so many times it is referencing things in person that are happening and then immediately telling the story back to us.
That might have been one of the best PSD investigations we've ever had.
I would say that one takes the cake so far. Now going to speaking with spirits at the bridge.
Is Augustina still with us?
Should I say that in Spanish?
Sure.
Agustina, ¿estás aquí con nosotros?
You can tell it, you can come up and tap this device.
Ah, okay.
Oh! It said yes.
Agustina, si estás con nosotros, manifiéstate con esa máquina que tenemos.
Yes, again! We definitely have their attention. Ask if the spirits like us.
Agustina, ¿podemos estar aquí contigo hoy?
And then
Agustina, ¿podemos quedarnos contigo?
No.
I guess.
Ask if she likes.
She said no.
No again.
I asked if we can stay with her tonight.
Oh, if we could stay, and she's like,
She does not want us to stay there.
I asked if she can make a noise again. Agustina, ¿podrías hacer un ruido nuevamente? Yes.
yes again.
And then
Yes,
noises
and then immediately.
right after.
It's clicking right on the second bridge over here.
But what was interesting about this, we don't believe that the language barrier transcends like past into the afterlife. I feel like she was able to understand both languages. The entire story just kept making more and more sense. She was like warning us, do not stay on the island overnight.
We just gave her an offering, so she is meant to protect us.
Shit.
And so we knew at this point that something evil might have been coming later. So while Sam and Fede were doing this investigation, I was on the other side of the island investigating where Don Julian was found. But I also was trying to prank Fede, and guys, this went horribly wrong. Okay, so check this out. In my backpack here, I brought an absolutely terrifying clown from Party City.
Colby.
He was just like, whoa, what?
Wow. I think he's too used to
I
it.
didn't like that.
I thought he was gonna get so much more scared, but okay, this is what happened. We had only 20 minutes on the clock to do our investigation, and I spent that first 10 minutes going to Don Julian's death spot. So I didn't allow myself to have enough time to actually set up the prank and find a good enough hiding spot. And while I was putting on the mask to hide, I heard Sam walking, and obviously Sam's in on the prank. And so basically I just panicked, put it on as fast as possible, and I was like scurrying around a corner as they were turning around and just barely had to jump out. But I didn't know when he was coming, and it just didn't work. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay.
So we're saying this is my fault for going too fast?
Yeah, you went a little too fast, man.
I thought you were ready, so I was like, why not come? I think it was still a funny thing. Scratch the prank, let's get into the SS method.
Is there a specific non-human entity we should be afraid of?
Un poco.
A little.
Little.
There is.
What about La Llorona?
We were talking about that on the way here.
Informado.
Inform.
I don't even know if she exists around here or not. Have you heard of the...
Sí.
It's almost like, oh, I knew exactly what you were thinking about.
So we weren't 100% positive of this, but we had heard that Doll Island could have been the origin spot for La Llorona, which we actually made a video about on this channel as well. So at this point, Augustina is telling us that there might be something later that we need to be protected from. And now we're starting to think of La Llorona being that person.
And as soon as we mention that name, it cuts us off. It's like, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Have you heard of the...
Sí.
What really freaked me out was because we had a guide and a translator for us, how her demeanor changed and how we could see that she was genuinely scared.
After we cut the cameras, she was like, oh my God, like I've never seen anything like this. Like no one's ever shown me ghost hunting equipment or like actually had me part of these types of things. And so she was freaked out, and she was definitely like, maybe they are onto something. Maybe La Llorona could actually be in this Doll Island. So now let's talk about when possibly La Llorona arrives. We looked up exactly how to summon her. So what we're hoping to do is use all of these items to summon La Llorona, which she's known if you use red candles as well as mirrors, she will come. This is what happened.
Are you here with us? Dude, there it is again.
Same thing.
Yeah,
it's loud.
Like footsteps.
The footsteps are loud. On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Immediately.
And then, yeah. Okay, let's see if it works.
La Llorona.
God, chill, just like reliving this. La, that's happening.
The REM pod was not going off all night too. This was insane to me. La Llorona's origin could have been all around Mexico, and so us just trying to summon her to an island was a shot in the dark, and we feel like it could have worked.
Or something posing as La Llorona.
The thing about her too is when you hear noises that are close to you, it means she's far away. And then the opposite, if you hear noises far away, it means she's actually close. And the noises that we were hearing were loud, but still a little bit further away.
And then when we were like, okay, let's summon her, the REM pod, which was right next to us, is going off. It gets even crazier when we were doing the spirit box session.
This is when we started to notice that it was targeting Fede.
Llorona, estás aquí con nosotros, danos una señal.
More footsteps. We're like definitely getting freaked out, and then this happens.
You know who Don Julian is? He didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice. And now you can just see he's like, wait, what the? You can see he's actually so shocked.
When did that happen?
That is the main sign that La Llorona is here. His candle's blowing out.
Were you the one that led Don Julian?
Oh my God, 2 times. We're all standing within a foot of each other. Why wouldn't your candle go out if his is going out?
Nothing else was happening except to Fede's candle.
It's targeting Fede. Oh my God!
Again.
A 3rd time!
Okay, we should stop.
A candle going out 3 times in a row for the same person is just absolutely not a good sign. So we're like, okay, we can't put our new friend in danger. We have to end this right here.
And guys, again, we don't know if we were directly talking to La Llorona or something posing as it, but at this point in person, we were 100% convinced it was her.
And we didn't want to take a chance. And so we're like, okay, let's end this. Let's do an offering and make sure none of us are gonna take anything home with us.
So let's talk about our offering. We had a doll given to us to film for an Explore Club video. It was a piece of ghost equipment. We used it in this main channel video, and we actually kept it right over here in our React studio for a long time. And so it had a lot of like our energy with it, like everything in this room does. And so we thought, since it had our energy, that the best way to sacrifice ourselves without actually sacrificing ourselves was to use something with our energy. And we thought, what if we just replicated exactly what happened to Don Julian, where he saw the doll floating in the water?
And we don't know if this worked. Obviously, we don't even know if it was La Llorona, but what we do know is it was a sign of our intention, and it was like, hey, this is our peace offering. We just want to make sure that you're not going to follow us home. And I think so far this worked.
We just gave it a shot, guys. We had no idea.
We will never come back again.
Same spot. Whoa! I have to say this now. Obviously, we didn't mention this in the main channel video, but after we turned off the camera, we did pick up the doll again and leave it on the island as an offering. Just so you guys know, we did not litter and just have this thing floating around in a Mexican river.
What about the moth?
Dude, this part we did not include at all on the main channel video, but as we were getting B-roll and wrapping up at the end of the night, I went into the doll hut and I saw this moth. I'm in the spot where we started the investigation on Doll Island. It's like looking at the dolls, and this candle went out because a moth was attracted to the light, set on fire, and then is drowning in the wax.
I texted Malia about it, and she said, a moth that will be burned by the flame, the person engaging in this behavior will risk significant negative consequences. It's used to describe an irresistible, potentially destructive attraction to something dangerous.
That's scary.
It basically was like a bad omen to us, or me specifically maybe, that like, hey, you're literally playing with fire, don't get too close or you're gonna get burnt.
Guys, if you see some stuff that we missed in this video, please comment down below. Also, we did a video with Fede on his channel, so make sure to go check that out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.
Peace.